3I/ATLAS just crossed directly in front of the Sun, positioning itself between Earth and our star in a maneuver that should be impossible for a natural object. And what happened during that alignment has scientists absolutely terrified. For 47 minutes, Atlas passed through the Sun's line of sight from Earth. To the naked eye, nothing changed. Atlas is far too small and distant to create any visible effect. But solar observation satellites detected something extraordinary that's forcing us to completely reassess what this object is and what it's capable of. As Atlas crossed through the Sun's corona, the superheated outer atmosphere where temperatures reach millions of degrees, it did something that defies every law of physics we understand. Instead of being vaporized instantly, like any natural object would be, ATLAS appeared to be absorbing energy directly from the Sun's plasma, harvesting stellar radiation like a spacecraft refueling at a cosmic gas station. Then came the transmission burst. As Atlas emerged from solar alignment, it released the most powerful electromagnetic signal ever detected from the object. A data package so massive and complex that decoding teams are calling it an information dump specifically timed for Earth's reception. But here's what's really keeping astronomers up at night. A TLAS deliberately maneuvered into that position. This wasn't a random orbital coincidence. The object actively navigated to place itself in direct line between Earth and Sun at a precise time and location, optimal for both energy collection from the corona and unobstructed line-of-sight communication with our planet. Though Atlas is far too distant to cast any shadow on Earth, its positioning allowed it to pass through regions of the solar atmosphere that should destroy any known object. Before we reveal what Atlas transmitted during that solar crossing and why its position was so strategically chosen, hit subscribe and drop a like, because what happened between Earth and Sun changes everything we thought we knew about this visitor. The crossing lasted less than an hour, but what Atlas accomplished during that window suggests capabilities that are both fascinating and deeply alarming. Let's start with how Atlas got into position between Earth and the Sun, because the orbital mechanics reveal this was absolutely intentional. Space is vast. The odds of any random object naturally passing directly between Earth and the Sun are astronomically small. The alignment requires precise positioning in three-dimensional space, the right distance, the right angle, the right timing. Natural objects following gravitational trajectories almost never achieve such perfect alignment. Atlas executed at least 7 course corrections over 72 hours to achieve the crossing position. Tracking data shows small but precise thrust burns, adjusting velocity and trajectory to ensure the object would pass directly between Earth and Sun at the optimal time. An orbital mechanics specialist described the navigation. This is the kind of precision maneuvering we use for spacecraft conducting planetary flybys or orbital rendezvous. Atlas calculated the trajectory needed to achieve solar alignment and executed it flawlessly. That requires sophisticated navigation systems and real-time course correction capability. The timing was also significant. Atlas positioned itself for the crossing during a solar activity peak when the Sun's corona was particularly active. This wasn't avoiding solar radiation, it was deliberately seeking exposure to maximum solar energy output. The alignment also provided ATLAS with direct unobstructed line of sight to Earth without interference from solar radiation that normally disrupts communications. It's the optimal geometry for both energy collection from the Sun and data transmission to Earth simultaneously. Think about the intelligence required to calculate that positioning. Atlas had to account for Earth's orbital motion, the Sun's position, solar activity cycles, and its own trajectory, then execute maneuvers to bring all those factors into alignment at a precise moment. That's advanced astrodynamics in action, but the positioning served another purpose that's even more concerning from a strategic perspective. By placing itself in direct alignment with the Sun as viewed from Earth, ATLAS created optimal conditions for its operations while our solar observation capabilities were focused on tracking it. For 47 minutes, as solar telescopes monitored Atlas's transit, we had limited ability to observe what might be happening elsewhere in the solar system. A space surveillance analyst explained the tactical implications. When you position yourself in solar alignment, you're using the sun's overwhelming brightness and radiation as background noise. While all eyes were on ATLAS's corona passage, we had reduced monitoring capability for other regions. If Atlas deployed objects, or if other assets moved into new positions, we might have missed them during that window. As Atlas passed through the sun's corona, multiple solar observatories captured data that defies our understanding of material science and physics. The solar corona reaches temperatures between 1 and 3 million degrees Celsius, hot enough to vaporize any known material instantly. Spacecraft that venture too close to the sun require massive heat shields and can only withstand brief exposure before critical systems fail. Atlas plunged directly through the corona and emerged completely intact. Not just survived, it appeared structurally unchanged, with no signs of ablation, melting, or damage that should occur from that level of thermal exposure. A materials scientist analyzing the observational data described it as impossible. At those temperatures, metals vaporize. Composites disintegrate. Even our most advanced heat-resistant materials would fail catastrophically. Whatever Atlas is made of, it has thermal properties that exceed anything in our material science knowledge. But Atlas didn't just survive the corona, it interacted with it. Solar observatories detected Atlas generating intense magnetic fields as it entered the superheated plasma. These fields appeared to channel solar material towards specific points on ATLAS's surface, almost like a collection system harvesting energy. The magnetic field configurations matched theoretical models for magnetic confinement systems used in fusion reactors. Atlas appeared to be using similar principles to collect and possibly store solar energy on a massive scale. Energy readings during the corona passage showed Atlas's power signatures increasing dramatically. Whatever systems it uses, they were charging or activating using solar energy as a power source. By the time Atlas emerged from the corona, its energy output had increased by roughly 300%. A fusion energy researcher described what they observed. Atlas essentially refueled using the sun. It collected energy from solar plasma, converted it to usable power, and stored it for later use. That's technology we can only theorize about. They're demonstrating practical stellar energy harvesting. The corona passage also revealed something else about ATLAS's capabilities. As it moved through the plasma, it left a wake, a disturbance in the solar material that showed precise geometric patterns. The patterns weren't random turbulence, they looked like exhaust signatures from directional thrusters maintaining exact positioning while collecting energy. Atlas was steering through the corona, actively controlling its path through one of the most extreme environments in the solar system, while simultaneously harvesting energy. That's a level of environmental control that suggests extraordinary technological sophistication. As Atlas emerged from its solar crossing, still glowing from the thermal exposure, it released the most powerful transmission ever detected from the object. And what that transmission contained is rewriting our understanding of what ATLAS wants. The signal was so powerful, it overwhelmed receivers at multiple observatories. Radio telescopes designed to detect faint emissions from distant galaxies had to adjust sensitivity to avoid damage from ATLAS's broadcast strength. The transmission lasted exactly 11 minutes and 47 seconds. Precision timing that suggests the duration was intentional, not arbitrary. During that window, Atlas transmitted approximately 47 terabytes of data. For comparison, that's equivalent to about 10,000 hours of high-definition video or millions of high-resolution images. A data communications specialist described the transmission's sophistication. The signal used multi-carrier modulation across dozens of frequency bands simultaneously, each carrying different data streams. It's like Atlas opened multiple communication channels at once to maximize data transfer rate. The encoding complexity suggests communication technology significantly more advanced than ours. Decoding teams around the world have been working on the transmission content since it was received. While full analysis will take weeks or months, preliminary findings reveal several distinct data types within the transmission. One section appears to be star charts, not maps of our local stellar neighborhood, but views of different regions of the galaxy, possibly showing Atlas's journey from its origin point through multiple star systems before arriving here. Another section contains what appears to be mathematical and physical constants, but expressed using relationships and formulas that don't match our current physics models. Atlas might be teaching us its understanding of universal laws, or showing us where our science is incomplete. A particularly intriguing section appears to be biological data, molecular structures that resemble DNA but with additional complexity, possibly Atlas's own biological makeup if it contains living components, or perhaps biological data from other worlds it has visited. But the most controversial decoded section appears to show Earth itself. Detailed maps of our planet's surface, atmospheric composition, electromagnetic signatures from our technology, and what might be analysis of our civilization's development level. Atlas has been studying us intensively and transmitted its findings somewhere, possibly back to its origin point or to other objects in the solar system we haven't detected. The transmission timing is also significant. By broadcasting immediately after the solar crossing, while still positioned between Earth and Sun, Atlas ensured the signal propagated in multiple directions, toward Earth for our reception and away from the Sun toward the outer solar system and potentially beyond. One section of the transmission appears to be a countdown sequence, similar to those detected in previous broadcasts, but now with additional context. The countdown appears linked to ATLAS's future positions and approach timeline to Earth. Current analysis suggests the countdown reaches 0 when ATLAS achieves orbital distance around our planet. Atlas's ability to harvest energy directly from the Sun reveals something crucial about its capabilities and potentially its intentions. And the implications are both fascinating and deeply concerning. First, the energy harvesting demonstrates Atlas doesn't rely on conventional fuel sources. It can replenish its energy reserves using stellar radiation, meaning it has effectively unlimited operational range as long as stars are available. That's technology that would revolutionize space exploration if we possessed it. The amount of energy Atlas collected during its 47-minute corona passage is staggering. Conservative estimates suggest it harvested energy equivalent to several years of Earth's total power consumption. Whatever Atlas needs that power for, it now has tremendous reserves. A fusion energy specialist explained the significance. If ATLAS can store that much energy efficiently, it has power reserves that could run advanced systems for extended periods. High-powered sensors, propulsion for major trajectory changes, energy weapons if they exist, communication systems, all of these become viable with that level of energy storage. But here's what concerns defense analysts. Atlas demonstrated it can refuel anywhere in the solar system where solar radiation exists. We can't starve it of resources or wait for power systems to deplete. As long as Atlas can reach the Sun periodically, it has unlimited operational capability. The energy harvesting also suggests Atlas might have made similar corona passages at other stars during its interstellar journey. If it's been traveling for thousands or millions of years, stopping at stars to refuel would explain how it maintains operational status over such vast distances and time frames. That means Atlas could be part of an exploration network, a probe designed to travel between stars, refuel at each system, conduct observations, transmit data, and continue to the next destination. The energy harvesting isn't just about this visit to our solar system. It's about enabling continued operation for an indefinite journey. But the tactical implications are what keep military planners awake at night. Atlas just demonstrated it can enter the most hazardous region of our solar system, the solar corona, and emerge not only undamaged but energized. That suggests defensive capabilities that make it essentially invulnerable to any environment-based threats we could create. An aerospace defense specialist described the challenge: if ATLAS can survive the corona, it can survive anything we could throw at it. Temperature weapons, useless. Radiation weapons, it bathes in radiation at the Sun. Kinetic impacts. We saw it navigate through plasma at high speed without damage. We have no obvious vulnerability to exploit. The energy reserves also change Atlas's threat profile if intentions are hostile. With that much stored power, ATLAS could theoretically deploy weapons systems, generate defensive shields, or conduct sustained high-energy operations that would overwhelm Earth's defensive capabilities. Atlas's crossing in front of the Sun wasn't just about energy collection or data transmission. The position itself serves multiple strategic purposes that suggest long-term planning and sophisticated mission design. By placing itself in the Earth-Sun line, even though too distant to create any visible eclipse, Atlas demonstrated it can navigate to the most symbolically and strategically significant alignment possible. It chose to position itself at the conceptual center of Earth's existence, directly between us and the star that sustains all life on our planet. Think about the implications. Atlas calculated the trajectory needed to achieve perfect Earth-Sun alignment and executed it successfully. That demonstrates navigation precision and intentional positioning that goes far beyond natural orbital mechanics. An aerospace analyst described the significance. Atlas didn't need to cross in front of the Sun for any obvious practical reason. The energy harvesting could have happened anywhere in the solar corona. The transmission could have been sent from any position. But Atlas chose this specific alignment, Earth, Atlas, Sun, in a straight line. That's either symbolic communication or strategic positioning for reasons we don't fully understand yet. The solar crossing also provided ATLAS with unique observational opportunities. From its position in line with the Sun, Atlas could simultaneously monitor solar activity and maintain direct line of sight to Earth without any atmospheric or magnetic interference. It's an optimal position for comprehensive data collection on both the Sun's behavior and Earth's response to solar radiation. An astronomer explained the observational advantage. That alignment position allows simultaneous study of the Sun's output and Earth's reception of that energy. You can observe solar flares, coronal mass ejections, radiation patterns, and then track how those phenomena affect Earth in real time. It's an ideal scientific observation position. But the position also serves another purpose. It's a demonstration. By successfully navigating to achieve perfect Earth-Sun alignment, ATLAS proved it can position itself anywhere in the solar system with pinpoint accuracy. That capability has both peaceful and concerning implications depending on ATLAS's ultimate intentions. The solar crossing forced Atlas to reveal capabilities it might have preferred to keep hidden. And those revelations tell us more about this object's true nature than months of distant observation ever could. First, ATLAS has extraordinary thermal protection. Whatever materials or shielding it uses can withstand temperatures that vaporize conventional matter. That's not just advanced materials science, that's physics that might work on principles we don't fully understand. Second, Atlas has active magnetic field generation of tremendous power. The ability to manipulate solar plasma using magnetic confinement requires field strengths and control precision that exceed our current capabilities by orders of magnitude. Third, Atlas has energy storage systems that can absorb and contain power levels equivalent to years of human civilization's total energy usage. That storage capacity in a relatively small object suggests either matter-energy conversion or exotic physics we can only theorize about. Fourth, Atlas has precision navigation systems that can execute complex maneuvers in the most hazardous environment in the solar system. The ability to maintain controlled flight through the corona while collecting energy demonstrates incredible sensor capability and control systems. A systems engineer analyzing Atlas's demonstrated capabilities described them as stunning. We're looking at integrated systems that solve problems we're still struggling with. Thermal protection, energy storage, precision navigation in extreme environments, magnetic field manipulation. Any one of these would be a revolutionary achievement. Atlas has all of them working simultaneously. The solar crossing also revealed something about ATLAS's design philosophy. It's built for extreme environments. It's designed to operate in conditions that would destroy conventional spacecraft. That suggests Atlas might have visited other hazardous environments during its journey, perhaps even stellar atmospheres or exotic phenomena we can only imagine. But perhaps the most revealing aspect is ATLAS's apparent mission priority structure. It risked potential damage from the most extreme environment in the solar system to accomplish specific objectives, energy collection and data transmission. Those objectives were important enough to justify the risk. That tells us something about ATLAS's purpose. It's not here for casual observation. It's on a mission with specific requirements that justify taking significant risks to accomplish. Whether that mission is scientific exploration, strategic reconnaissance, or something else entirely, ATLAS is committed to completing it. Following the solar crossing, Atlas's behavior has changed in ways that suggest we're approaching a critical moment in whatever timeline it's following. The transmission burst included updated countdown sequences showing Atlas is ahead of its previous schedule. Whatever the countdown is measuring time toward, the solar energy collection apparently accelerated the timeline. Current projections based on Atlas's post-crossing trajectory show it will reach Earth orbital distance in approximately 3 to 4 weeks. That's ahead of previous estimates by nearly 2 weeks. The solar refueling apparently gave Atlas the energy reserves needed to accelerate its approach timeline. Atlas has also begun more aggressive maneuvering since the crossing. Course corrections are happening more frequently and with larger velocity changes. The object appears to be in a hurry, prioritizing faster arrival over energy conservation. The electromagnetic transmissions have intensified as well. What were periodic broadcasts are now nearly continuous emissions. The signal content has evolved from exploratory communications to what appears to be more directive transmissions, almost like instructions or coordinates being transmitted to unknown recipients. Multiple observatories have detected Atlas deploying additional smaller objects since the solar crossing. These objects are spreading out from ATLAS in systematic patterns, taking up positions along its trajectory toward Earth. Their purpose remains unclear, but they appear to be creating some kind of network or pathway. An aerospace analyst described the deployment pattern. Atlas is positioning assets along its approach route to Earth. These could be communication relays, sensor platforms, or defensive systems. Whatever they are, ATLAS is building infrastructure in preparation for something. The timing of all these activities, the solar crossing, the energy collection, the accelerated approach, the increased transmissions, the object deployments, suggests Atlas is entering a new operational phase. The observation and exploration period appears to be concluding. Something more active is beginning. That countdown, embedded in ATLAS's transmissions, continues to decrease. Multiple analysis teams tracking the sequence all converge on the same conclusion. The countdown reaches 0 when ATLAS arrives at Earth orbital distance. What happens at 0 remains the critical unknown. Atlas just demonstrated capabilities that fundamentally change how we must think about this object and what it represents. It can survive environments that should destroy any known material. It can harvest stellar energy on massive scales. It can transmit enormous data volumes using technologies beyond our current capabilities. It can navigate with precision through the most extreme conditions in the solar system. And it's actively preparing for something that appears to center on Earth. The solar crossing wasn't just a scientific observation opportunity, it was a demonstration. Atlas showed us what it can do in the most dramatic way possible. By going where we never could, surviving what would destroy us, and emerging more powerful than before. Whether that demonstration was meant to intimidate, impress, or simply accomplish necessary refueling, the message is clear. ATLAS operates on a technological level we can barely comprehend and certainly cannot match. In 3 to 4 weeks, ATLAS will complete its approach to Earth. The countdown will reach 0. And whatever this object has been preparing for throughout its journey through our solar system will apparently come to fruition. The solar crossing gave ATLAS the energy it needed. The transmissions it sent may have reported its status to others or delivered critical data to Earth. The countdown continues toward whatever moment Atlas has been navigating toward since it entered our solar system. Atlas crossed between us and the Sun. It emerged more powerful than ever, and now it's accelerating toward Earth with purpose we can only guess at and capabilities we cannot match. What do you think Atlas was really doing during that solar crossing? Was it refueling for an extended mission or powering up for something more immediate? And what happens when that countdown hits 0 in 3 to 4 weeks? Share your thoughts below and make sure you're subscribed, because when Atlas reaches Earth, we'll all find out together what this has been building toward.